Hello, internet friends. My name is Bay. Been a busy few hours leading up to the stream today. Sorry it's a little bit behind schedule. But we're having another chill day. Another chill, relaxing, potentially emotionally scarring day. Just due to story content in Final Fantasy XIV. So we're playing through patch 6.2, Buried Memory. I do believe the trial is coming up in just a moment. So we're doing that today. Tomorrow, we will do character creation, make a hideous abomination, and start playing Dark Souls 1 Remastered in the But I'm Bad series. Then there's no stream on Friday. There'll be a stream following up on Sunday to make up for that Friday off, because I've got busy stuff in Destiny 2 to do with my community on Friday. But yeah, let's just head over here. Let's crank down the volume to normal levels. I do have to head back in to the Weaver's Warding. Gotta make sure my recording folder is ready to go. Yep, there we go. Because I'm recording these in chunks so that I can cut them up a little bit later, make it a little more digestible for those that want to watch smaller segments post the spoiler territory. So we just walk in here and then we just... So this is to the dungeon. Interesting. Or you go to the keep, which we need to go back to the keep and then travel to Zero's domain. Is this the attendant takes you there, I take it? Oh, he takes you up to the terraces. You have to go to the terrace. Well, this whole area stays explorable. Very interesting. So we go to the terrace. And then we go... You just take me back to the front, right? So where is the big... Wasn't the big flappy bird over here? Oh, yeah, right here. Oh, he didn't... That was some insane pop-in. Wow. Well, that's the load-in pop-in on assets. So clearly, that was a little bit... This big boy right here. Okay. And then you go to Zero's domain. It's a little bit around your elbow to get to your butt, but that's okay. But we're back here. We're back here. I must sneeze, I think. Perhaps. Before I start recording. Nope. No sneeze? All right. Hello, internet friends, and welcome back to the Final Fantasy XIV patch 6.2 MSQ, my journey through it anyway. We only have so many more quests left, I was told yesterday after streaming and recording. Well, let's talk to people. Scarmiglione possessed the power of regeneration. Let's see what Babrizia can do with her winds. We are on the quest, The Wind Rises. Zero has a word of warning before you go face Babrizia. A word of warning? That's what the quest text said, yes? Fair enough. Babrizia spoke as if she would give us answers if we were to defeat her. But even assuming she'll talk, which I doubt, I trust I didn't tell you how foolish it is to give an archfiend a second chance. Best to seal her away at the earliest opportunity. If you wish to peer into her past, the memoria will suffice. Okay. I can't wield the power at will, or I'll try, but I make no guarantees. I mean, yeah, the echo doesn't really happen when I want it to happen. It just kind of happens. She doesn't understand that, though, I suppose. Well then, you had better hope it favors you when the time comes. Ah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't click a button or cast a spell that makes the echo happen. It just kind of happens. Sometimes. Rest assured, this won't be our last opportunity to learn about Azdaja. If another Archfiend were to fall, Golbez would surely be compelled to respond. We need only wait for our quarry to come to us. It's a little... It's okay, Ystrola. Indeed, if our struggles with Scarmiglione taught us aught, 'tis that we must hold nothing back when facing an Archfiend. Let us heed Zero's advice and seal her away at the earliest opportunity. If we're all in agreement, let us be off. We travel by Nisroch. What's the name of that beast, I guess? Scarmiglione was an Archfiend of Earth, while Barbarizia is of the Wind. In this world given to darkness, I wonder what significance their elemental titles hold. Barbarizia will use every advantage she has. Traps, ambushes. We must be prepared for all that and more. Not the first trial we have faced since coming to this world, nor will it be the last. But with you all beside me, I am confident we will prevail. So come, let us sally forth. I was also told this trial is not one you do with trust, though. It's going to be a queued trial. To transform a void scent into Memoria, we must first drain them of their ether. To wit, we must wound her gravely. So get her HP to 0. Got it. Video game mechanics explained in a non-video game mechanical way. Oh. There's a lot of...
You're not the only ones who can ride the wind.
He said the thing. I'm just holding on.
Leave these ones to us.
I'm not doing anything.
See to Barbarizia.
Hey, look, it's a boss arena. That's convenient. Is that all her hair? Ugh. Yo, the talisman of Azim. Let's go. That is all hair. That's unnerving. A little awkward too. Little Storm's Crown now accessible. Bob wasn't wrong. I was 3 minutes away from the trial. Alright, very good. Storm's Crown, normal mode. Sure, I'm capped on astronomy, but whatever. Plenty more where that came from. This shouldn't be a long queue. Less than 5 minutes. Good, good, good. Less than 5 minutes. All good. Up to literally like 25 seconds. All right, let's go into Storm's Crown. First time. That's gross. Kind of very Rapunzel-y and weird. That's cool. Empress of the Winds. Barbacoa. She's got anime bangs. She belongs in this game.
Come, give yourselves to my scouring winds that I may feast upon your essence.
This is a huge sword. Very cool. Hit him with the sorry. Hit him with the hoy. Grab a food buff, why not? Wait for everyone else to get out of the cutscene. I guess it is crown. Crowns go on heads.
Such rich, exquisite ether.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
My hair shimmers.
Oh, I
with
have all
anticipation.
spell effects turned on. This might get a little bit busy. Okay, big raid AoE start off the fight. Pretty standard stuff. It's gonna get a little busy. On your guard. Savage Barbary. She's got a bunch of swords in front of her. Oh! Okay. Line nuke from where the sword is. Now the sword's way over there. Oh, okay. So you get to the sword when she throws it. I'll get the res here. Oh, apparently someone else did. So circle AoE from where she's... Oh. Ah, okay. Circle AoE and then... This is get to the sword. I'm dead. Yep. It's always... It looks like it's two parts. Two parts for her sword attacks then? Or it's one part then two parts? And we probably should just wipe and start over again.
Are as the wind.
Oh. A lock of hair wraps around you.
Soft, strong, and free.
Do you have to run out? No, you can't. I'm dead again? So you have to move within that space to dodge the line nukes. All right. Move within the hair to dodge the line nukes. This is the overhead slash to that direction.
Try this.
Overhead slash, then she jumps. Oh, and then she throws the sword. That's a throwing the sword animation. Now she will jump to the sword and do a half room. Well, more like a more like a 5/6. That's the cone. Okay, okay. We learning. So everyone has to do these things. When you're new to the trials, you gotta just kind of wipe and go again. Learn the tells.
Such rich, exquisite.
I probably should turn off everyone else's spell effects.
Hair shimmers with anticipation.
Do one more pull with everything on, but it's gonna be a little busy. Makes it hard to see the boss. I mean, it looks incredible, but it's definitely a little hard to see the encounter playing out before you.
On your guard.
All right, so line nuke from where she is, and then she's gonna jump. Okay. I guess going to the right would actually be the easier one. Now she's going to jump to here and hit the whole room. Shared tank buster.
Have at you.
It says circle at her, and then she will jump to there and do another one. So being in the... Yeah. Or she throws the sword that time. Just running to the sword again. We got to get on the side of the wall. Okay. Let my dot fall off. No big deal. I do be learning. Game is so pretty, but man, the spell effects are a little much sometimes.
My locks are as the wind.
So these are the teasing tangles. These are the I got pulled to a random one. But to stay within the bubble, but dodge.
Soft, strong, and free.
So it's dodge here, then dodge in. I think I can save gem. Nope. Group soak. I guess shows a huge hairball on us. I don't have res for another 8. Line nuke, and then she throws the sword. So this way.
Try this.
Now she'll jump to the sword. If she does them all in order every time. Yeah, jumping to the sword now. Oh, we all get solo soaks. That poor samurai. Got the rest, they can keep learning. And Titan is so loud. That's where that big explosion was. That's a tank soak. A little OGCD action there. Another one of the teasing tangles. Can you still cast while you're... You still can, okay.
You feel it too, do you not?
And right back to the cone. Now we're still tangled though. Ooh. Solo soaks while tangled. Not a soak.
You've done well to last this long.
Little meteor hits.
But the battle has
Curling
only just
iron.
begun.
I didn't notice all the name of her spells are like hair oriented, clearly. Raid nuke. Oh, full on raid stun cutscene. Whoa, 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 whoa. She turns into a Titan. She's the attack Titan, not the attack Titan, the female Titan. But she's covered in hair. Holy crap. Okay. Is she actually animated above us? That raid buster is so cool. You have time to pop cooldowns. So yeah, she's the female Titan now. Whoa, okay. It's gonna rotate. Yikes. She makes after images of herself. She is the female Titan. Yoshi P and crew do be watching Attack on Titan though. I respect it. It's great anime. I have a raid soak on me. Oh, and then we have 2 meteors to get out. I'm Medica 2, so we should be fine. This is awesome. This is so cool. And the in-combat cutscene wasn't super long either. Her hair body is so weird and cool. Another raid soak on me. A little bell here because we have a solo soak out there. An actual meteor. Okay, pizza slices. What we playing World of Warcraft now? Okay, move in, move out, or move out, then move in.
Don't underestimate me.
Don't hit the pizza slices. Little mini NATOs there. Liturgy the bell popping off. Apparently I got hit by another Vuln in there somewhere a little earlier.
Feel my fury.
Okay, this is that directional, multi-direction. Okay.
Know your place.
Just quick dodges. Oh, is that following me? I don't know if that's following me. I'm dead. Wow, okay, 58k. That was Earth-based, though. Strange. Okay, that's definitely new. So you have to do all that now tethered. Well, move in. Long arm. Dodge. Don't get pushed backwards into what I assume is bleed. I'm immune for a moment. It's full heal. Big ground attack. Let's get the tanks potted up. I have a res here for the summoner.
I'll break your every bone.
Oh, that has a knockback component if you're too close. Okay. It's a bunch of just rocks falling. Oh, there's an inside outside during that. It's hard to see again because I have all spell effects turned on. Okay.
Be gone from my sight.
This wind NATOs, she do be punching. And I couldn't get... I was dodging, I wasn't paying attention. Inside, outside?
The insolence.
Oh, just wings here? She do be punching? I'm still weakened, but whatever.
Dodge this if you can.
So yeah, do you want to stay close and just go back and forth on these dodges?
I'll make it quick.
No, that's wasted. I thought she was going to hit us with damage, but she just does this jumping stuff. Very inside outside. Little swirl action, dead zone in the middle. Then I've got a group soak. Two solo soaks. Just walk those out to the sides. There's liturgy during this ground pound. Someone in chat said this new She-Hulk series is whack. She's the female Titan, but hair. That was a great transition. Just a lot going on. It's way more busy right now because all spell effects are turned on. It looks incredible. Outside, inside. I'll move over here. Don't crowd anybody.
Don't underestimate me.
I probably could have just stood still there. Holy crap, that was great. That was great. Wow, wow, wow. That was really cool.
I will not be denied.
Her model looks awesome too, even though it's all hair. GG's. Insert obligatory tri-finger butthole. Oh, she disappeared. We got too close. I want to look at how... That's awesome. So it looks like she cuts her hair. And that becomes her armor. And then I guess she uses it to be able to fill those pouches of hair up with wind. So that she's able to like do that crazy jump in the air and then use her, like she blows up her fist with hair air. With hair air. That was quite good. You know what? That's fine. You're waiting around. I'm looking at her model because it does change. It's weird how the unrender, because if you get too close camera angle wise in this game, boss models turn off so you can still see through when you have to move the camera around. The ground is all covered in hair as well, which is really kind of gross still if you have an aversion to stray hair like this, but is she going to stay in this form then? We'll find out. That was really awesome. That was quite good. That was quite good.
There's still time. With more of the dragon's ether, I can yet...
Oh!
You're finished. Damn it all!
Nah, she's a crystal. She is now a crystal. It's weird they don't have any different markings on them if they're an Archfiend. Did the echo work? Nope. No echo. Yep, no echo. Okay. Hello, friends.
I see you've bested Barbaricia. Well done.
Thank you.
Her minions too are all crystallized or scattered. The day is ours.
Okay.
What of my sister? Tell me you learned something about Azdaja.
Unfortunately not. Young/old dragon prince man.
So the Archfiend and her crystal yielded not.
Nope.
Our efforts have not been entirely fruitless. We
True.
have deprived your sister's captor of another powerful champion. With Zero, we may yet challenge Golbez and his minions.
Indeed. We could not have come this far without your aid. Thank you, Zero.
Melt that heart, Varshad.
I but fulfilled my part of the bargain. And now I will have my...
She expend all her ether, transforming her into a crystal?
Her ether is nearly spent. Perhaps unsurprising given how much power she used.
Yep. In this world, if you don't understand, so ether essentially is your HP or your life force or whatever. Your key energy, if you want to use a Dragon Ball parlance, to my understanding, it's all relatively similar, where all creatures have ether, and if you expend it all, you die. And then, like, eating food or, you know, absorbing it from crystals or whatever, or in this case, the archfiends are trying to absorb the ether, the life force of a dragon. It gives you more and more and more and more and more of it. Kind of like, I guess, Souls logic too, right? The stronger you are in Souls, the more souls you have consumed, and raises your overall level. Very much in that Japanese animation or, you know, MMO-ish kind of sense that's used in a ton of different media. So she's clearly at like sub 10% ether, or maybe even less, I don't know, to make her completely pass out like that.
I wouldn't want to face another Archfiend without her. We should hurry back to Zero's domain.
Agreed. Eager though I am to continue, it would be unwise to risk our lives for the sake of haste.
Yeah, so she'll have to rest for 4 months until the next patch. So she needs to rest for a patch cycle, and then she'll be ready to go.
Let us suspend the mission and tend to Zero.
Yes. Oh, hey, Delthorn. You were typing to me when I was in combat. It's a fun fight, but it destroys your laptop, though? Well, fair. Destroys your laptop, though? Did a bunch of farming last night. Need to do more after stream today. Gotta keep farming the new materials for helping people make their crafted sets. Does she look more pale? Do they actually make... Or is it just the different lighting in this room? Though so slow as to be nearly imperceptible, Zero's chest rises and falls in a steady rhythm. Yeah, I mean, you can see it. I guess she probably looks more pale because of this room's, you know, white-purple lighting. But clearly she is spent until the next patch. In her present state... Sorry. In her present state, Zero is very easy prey for other Void Scent. We must be on our guard. Oh, I guess her friends could just eat her, yeah. She doesn't really have much ether left, though. Zero hasn't so much as stirred. Such power she must have expended. She did turn two Archfiends into Memoria crystals, so it's quite a bit. Though Zero remains unconscious, she appears otherwise fine. Insofar as I can discern at any rate, being part Void Scent, her physiological may be different from ours. Let us observe her for a while as we discuss our next move. Her physiology. Even though part Void Scent require rest, I imagine. Oh, even those part Void Scent require rest, I imagine. I read that in the wrong cadence. And her own abode seems as a good place as any. Unlike the source, however, there is scant ambient ether for her to draw upon here. I'll have to bring ether to her, maybe? I have to bring her ether. Could bring ether to her in, like, auracite crystals or something. That could be a thing. Alright, next quest is Return from the Void. So it's not going to be a key quest. As you notice, there's no art here. So normally it's a intermediate quest between pieces, moving locations, stuff like that. You can sort of tell what quests are more involved if they have art that pops up in the quest panel. So concern is writ plain upon Varshan's face. How long do you suppose she will remain this way? I haven't the faintest inkling, nor can I say whether the ether we can afford to share will be enough to awaken her. I've got a lot. It would be best to take her back with us to the source. There, she will be guaranteed all she requires. Well, can she travel easily between the portal? Zero cannot give her consent, but it seems we have no choice. The alternative would be to leave her here defenseless. Yeah, she might be eaten if we don't. Since Void Scent just consume the ether of others. Should she later desire it, we can bring her home. Yo, we're gonna feed her cookies, and she's gonna her icy heart's gonna slowly melt, and then she's gonna fall in love with Varshan, the Dragon Prince King. Let's go. Void Scent and Dragon Union. Get like Void Dragon babies. I'm calling it. Putting my stamp on that theory. They might ask you to hold on to Babritza's Memoria. It may yet serve a purpose. It's a very condensed crystal full of huge aether of an archfiend. Hello, imp boy. Oh, what happened to her? You have business with Zero? We have a newcomer, a former million of Barbarizia. My imp voice, do you like it? Let her know when she wakes, will you? Barbarizia's minion. Could be a trick. Why not go and find this newcomer? So we have something to tell Zero, if nothing else. Indeed. Sorry. Indeed. Can I trouble you, join me, Bay? With luck, we might learn something of Golbez. I mean, I have to go because otherwise I don't know what's going on. I'm the main character. So it's one of Barbarizia's minions has arrived in the sanctuary. Worry not, we will keep an eye on Zero. Go and meet this newcomer. When the leader falls, the minions pledge themselves to the enemy. There's no loyalty, only survival. Yes. That is, yeah. They seem to have a very alpha wolf style society. Strongest one controls the rest. So it's just one of these boys. Oh, wait, though. Ah, this was the one that was maybe spying on us at Troya that then alerted Golbez, but it's going to try to trick us. Oh, maybe. This appears to be the newcomer. You're the ones who felled Barbarizia. I won't make trouble. I'll obey, so please let me stay. If you would obey, then tell me all you know of Golbez. There isn't much I can tell. Only the archfiends are allowed into his domain, wherever it is. None but they know. I see. No better way to guard one's self than keeping one's location secret. How does Golbez communicate with his minions afield? He has these scepters, staves, whatever they are. He uses them to talk to those far away. That's correct information, though. Curious. Not unlike link pearls, at least in function. That will be all. My thanks for your cooperation. And thanks to you as well for affording me the time. We just walked out of the room, Varshan. I am satisfied. Let us rejoin the others and head home. So they have link pearls, basically. Wherever Barbrizia moved her domain, some would get left behind. No such worries here. And her domain is actually still up here. That's the platform on this weird island right here in the top right corner. You can talk to other squid-headed Void Scent. It's rude. If it isn't immortal, it'll remind me of the time I was summoned to your world by someone who sought beauty. Well, it turned out to be a deviant who had my vessel chained to a bed. And when I tried to break free, he had the gall to call me a hideous fiend. That's in one of the earlier dungeons, I think. As if that wasn't bad enough, he started slicing me up. I left that body and fled back here as quick as I could. Never again, never again. The weird way they animated the face tentacles on those squid boys, because they go like in reverse. Like the animation doesn't play out from the face, it plays out from the outsides. It makes them look all the more weird. Well, I'm not sure Nabdeen has matters under control. Oh, while I'm sure Nabdeen has matters under control, I can't help but worry. Let's not keep them waiting. I can't read. Roshanos told all, Golbez goes to great lengths indeed to conceal his whereabouts. And great lengths enough. There's only so many, like, floating island thing domains on this world left anymore anyway. There is only so much stuff left on the 13th, so... I trust you understand that once we leave the 13th, we will not return until we are prepared to resume our search. Knowing this, are you ready to depart? I have nothing else to do here. Let's just, yeah, it's fine. I've done everything I could here. I don't think there's anything else to do. Back to Troya then, and thence home. Then you gotta carry her. There's no animation for picking up player models, so. Yet. Oh, back we are. There's the Atomos. Have they just been waiting here this whole time? How do you know how long we've been gone? Could have been weeks. Or it could have been mere moments. Who knows?
Ah, you're all safe. Thank the sisters.
Lighting this room doesn't do you any favors, Nabdeen. You look a little weird. Made of Play-Doh.
A moment while I close the gate. There. We may rest easy for now.
Anything sneak
Was there
through?
any trouble? I expect some void scent slipped through.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
A few did, aye. But we were ready and dealt with them without incident.
That is well. I cannot thank you enough for your vigilance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're grateful. But aren't you forgetting something more important?
Oh, really, Dalthorn? There is a side quest. Interesting. Gives background lore relevant to what has happened, called Shadowed Pasts. Okay. But it's not part of the actual MSQ then. Okay.
You know, the polite but warm formalities one delights in hearing when their little brother returns from a long journey.
Indeed, you are right. It is good to be home again, among those who I love dearly and missed so much.
This boy slash dragon. This is just an ethereal avatar. But this dragon is too good for these people.
And we are glad to receive you, Varshan. Welcome home.
It's like Big Brother.
Chambers
Dorks.
have been prepared for your use at Megaduta. Let us take Zero there at once.
Okay. Hit him with a nod and then you're in. Oh, yep. See, this is where the MSQ started. This is where... Does it end right here? Or there's going to be one more quest, probably. Master Kuan, we have been expecting you. If you'd follow me, I will show you to the guest chambers. Okay. Oh. It's nice.
Our mission took many an unexpected turn. I am relieved that we have all returned safely. But before you all enjoy the rest you have earned 12 times over, I would consult you on one last matter.
Zero.
While she appears none the worse for wear, she remains locked in slumber, and I cannot help but worry.
Just gotta throw a bunch of ether into her. Where's Kryl?
Is there aught we can do to expedite her recovery? If her ether is exhausted, perhaps I can share some of mine now.
Just get her some Archon loaf, grind it up into a slurry, and just pour it all over her like a mud bath. She'll osmosis all the Archon loaf ether, and she'll be good to go. I don't know. Something. I don't think you can give someone ether unless they are able to then receive it consciously. That's the weird part about healing in this world.
In the wastelands of the 13th, one can only replenish ether by taking it from others, be it by trade or by force.
Yeah.
In contrast, the source is rich in ambient ether.
True. It's just kind of floating around.
Simply being here and drawing breath, Zero will absorb what she needs.
Yeah.
Then we need but wait.
Yeah, we wait 4 months for the next patch. She's gonna wake up. It's the first quest gonna be Zero is woken up.
I believe so. She will awaken in time, and when she does, give her something to eat. Judging by her form, she should also be able to derive nourishment from food.
Ah, so Archon loaf.
I know you promised her your ether, but perhaps she might appreciate fine harnish cuisine more.
We're gonna feed her cookies, and it's gonna melt her cold, void-sent heart, and then she's gonna fall in love with the dragon that saved her from another dimension. Let's go.
Food can certainly be arranged.
Yeah.
She looks like any other person. Unsurprising, perhaps, given that she is only part void-sent.
Well, she is like awkwardly pale like a zombie all the time. I don't think other people have that complexion normally, Estinian. My bum looks like a dork.
Zero said before that Xenos had altered her essence.
Yeah.
A change wrought, I suspect, with the power of darkness. It acted upon the part of her that is void-sent, rendering it dominant. Thus, we were able to reverse it with the power of light. I labor to believe that Xenos possessed such arcane knowledge. In all likelihood, it came from Daniel.
Yeah.
Were Zero wholly void sent, I doubt the crystal would have had an effect on her.
I didn't react to anyone else.
One might say that Hydaelyn had a hand in your meeting.
That's throwing a really interesting theory out there. I mean, Hydaelyn knew and or knows because of what she did of all the different shards. So in a way, maybe? I don't know. Is she that maybe she was that omniscient? I don't know. It's hard to describe.
It is no exaggeration to say that Zero has proven herself invaluable.
True.
A boon from Hydaelyn herself.
Again, maybe.
Her cooperation may come at a price, but whatever it is, I am willing to pay it. Exhausting though it may be at times.
You are a dragon. I'm sure you have enough ether. Who has more ether, me or a dragon? I don't know. That's an interesting question. You, the main character in this game, is very powerful compared to everyone else. But that was sweet, though. I'm totally shipping Varshan and Zero. I'm totally shipping Varshan and Zero. You think the dragon has more, Bob? You think dragons are stronger than us? I mean, we defeat dragons all the time, though. But a Vrtra proper, you think he has more than us? Yeah? Like, I'm like a 1v1, I suppose. Well, I don't know. The Warrior of Light, we don't know if we're immortal. Like, how long would we live? Zero's breathing appears to be less strained than it was in the 13th. Sucking up that good air. Yeah, her model is definitely, she is that pale. That is for sure. Just gonna sleep for 4 months, fully clad in her entire armor set. That's gonna totally show up on the store, though. That's gonna be on the store. I imagine that Babrizia's armor might be on the store. I don't think her hair armor would be. That's very unique. But it might be. I have no, who knows? My chamber is much the same as this one. Too opulent for my taste, but at least it has space to train. She seems to be faring better now. Praise be to the sisters. Onward to the conclusion coming up soon, I bet. Yeah, so John asking how my day was going. Good. I had a little bit of a struggle getting some stuff sorted out before stream today. Just tech stuff and whatever, fiddling with cameras and doing whatnot, but that's why I was a little late today. A little late. I was also up late / early this morning farming in Final Fantasy XIV, so I slept in a little too long. Usually I give myself roughly an hour or so before stream to make sure everything is good to go, set up stuff, all that good whatnot. That's why I was a little late today, because I was up until, I don't know, 6:30 a.m. or so farming. I was just watching YouTube videos and farming in the new patch, so. But, John, the other question is, first time seeing this game yesterday. That's when you tuned in yesterday. Well, I mean, you're in not spoiler territory, kind of, because you don't have the context, because all of this stuff happening now is post the main story of the first arc of the game. So Final Fantasy XIV has a
absolute fuck ton
of story, meaning that if you were to play this game as a single player game, which you mostly can now, it's getting better and better with each patch. Eventually by the next expansion, the entirety of the main scenario or main story quest line, which is the heart of the game, will be playable solo. So you don't have to play with anyone else. You can play the game totally solo, just like a Final Fantasy game you'd play on your console, right? This is also on console. Duh. It probably would take 200 plus hours to do the game solo. So a little different than other Final Fantasies in the fact that it's just huge. It's just a massive amount of game. But the story is phenomenal. It is absolutely fantastic. Starts off really kind of meh, fine. Gets really good, then goes back to being fine to meh. And then the last two expansions have been some of the best storytelling I've ever experienced in a video game in my whole life. They are the characters, the settings. Obviously there's some jank because it's still like an older engine and the game doesn't like look next gen at all because it still has to be played on the console generation. It's not been ported forward completely. There are a whole bunch of visual upgrades that Yoshi P and crew at Square Enix are doing for this game that are prepping for the next expansion to like update all the textures in the game and the lighting engine and all this kind of stuff and the character rendering and character shading and whatever. That's coming in the next expansion, kind of like what Legion did to World of Warcraft, that up-resing essentially of the game. So it still kind of looks whatever, but the game systems, the loot priority, the agency you have as a character, how important even just like crafting and gathering is, and how detailed all these little subsystems are. Detailed but simple. It's so wild to me that I slept on this game for so long. I've only been playing this game for a little over a year. And I most started learning about Final Fantasy XIV last February, March timeframe, around my birthday last year, and I've been playing since. And yeah, it's wild. It's crazy. It's definitely a lot different than like 7, 8, 9, 10 because it is also wrapped in an MMO shell. So there's lots of stuff you can do in dungeons and group content and raids and trials. If you tuned in early enough, I don't know if you missed the trial. Bob missed the trial. That was fantastic, Bob. That was wonderful. That was really, really good. I definitely want to get into farming the extreme soon because I imagine that'll be even better. I did the trial with full spell effects turned on though, Bob, which, as you may know, is a little much. It was a little much. Also, this camera doesn't work this way because of the green screen. Those don't work. Those work for green screen, not for a regular camera. It was hard to see all the spell effects because I had all mine on, because I had them on from yesterday from doing the dungeon and the solo duty. So, which looked great in the dungeon and solo duty, but it was a little much in overall. So, but yeah, John, it's hard to break down the game. It's a lot, and it's really good, and you can take it at your own pace. And considering that, memes aside, you can pick up Final Fantasy XIV if an MMO of this caliber interests you. You can play the entirety of the base game, A Realm Reborn, and the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV's first expansion, Heaven's Ward, and Heaven's Ward for free. That's probably 80 hours of game. 70 to 80 hours of game for free. And if you get through Heaven's Ward, because the game starts off quite quaint, but if you get through Heaven's Ward and don't like what's going on, especially the new Heaven's Ward, because they've updated a whole bunch of those cutscenes, because now the new trust system, which actually I think is it in duty support now? Yeah. So there's a system where you can run, this is what they're updating, you can run dungeons with characters, like NPC avatars, that will fill in the roles that you're not playing. So you can do all these dungeons, all the story-based dungeons, solo. And they've updated a bunch of... I'm not going to click past these. I actually have to do them again? Oh, weird. I would have to go back through and do the duty support for the because they've updated so many of these stories. Yeah. Well, these are ones coming in the future patch. But I didn't realize they were doing this many for Heaven's Ward. I guess they're doing all of them. You can see them all now because all the ones for Shadowbringers and stuff are up to date. But you can do these with story avatars, and the story has been, they've added new cutscenes to them. And I watched a clip of one of them, and it's probably the most emotionally striking one that sticks with all Final Fantasy XIV players. And they made... Bob, did you watch it? Did you watch what I posted in Free Company? Because one of the probably top 3 most emotionally draining cutscenes in all of this game now has more cutscene. Oh, man. And if you're in the moment learning the story as it's going along through that, holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. It's very good. But this game is very big. I think the MSQ now is probably up to probably 220 hours or so. Maybe 230, depending on if you do side quests and stuff along the way. Which apparently there's a side quest nearby here. Do I pick up this? Or is it when you finish the new MSQ? I was alert. Dalthorn said watch for the side quest. I wonder if the reason why dragons have so much more ether than people who aren't the Warrior of Light is because they're from another star. True. True, they are space aliens in 14 parlance. Dragons are essentially space aliens. Yeah. Yeah, Stormblood is still good. It just follows Heaven's Ward, which is exceptional. Yeah. Yeah, Stormblood is fine. It's just, it takes like a very different story turn that doesn't feel as... It doesn't feel like it builds much. Apparently, Stormblood was mostly meant to be like patch content or something back in the day, and they didn't... It wasn't going to be a full expansion. It changed, I guess, in the earlier stages. Or like eventually when they started like making enough of the story that it was actually... It was just... They found out it was too much for the... for DLC, or not DLC, but patch content. So they made it a full expansion. But then that might be why it feels a little stretched at times. It feels just a tiny bit stretched. It's still good, yeah. It's just not as... Heaven's Ward or like Shadowbringers Endwalker are much more compartmentalized. They feel like they are together more. Stormblood has all these weird little... No, it's important because it connects a lot of dots. We've gotten so much materia the couple of days. Just farming. Just farming. All right, let me save this file real quick. So Endwalker 6.2 MSQ, and this was 06 and 07. Chapter 6 and 7. Okay. I think we shall continue onward. My camera seems to... Maybe I bonked it when I was fixing things. Yeah, I was trying to get Pikachu like barely in the shot. I mean, he's right there. That's his head. He's not raised up right now, so that may be why it's hard to see. Watched the stream from the other day, so summons like... Oh, you also asked about summons. Summons like Anima, Knights of the Round Table. I mean, yeah. So you bring up Anima. I can tell you that Anima is in the game. You bring up Knights of the Round Table. I can also tell you that Knights of the Round is definitely in the game. In technically 3 different ways. And bringing up Knights of the Round more than that would be a bit of a spoiler. But it's definitely in the game. They're not in the game the same way you would summon them like you would in like Final Fantasy 7 or 8 or 9 when you summon them in and like battle with them, or the new Final Fantasy 16 coming out in the future where like you turn into the summons, like you turn into them, like, you know, King of the Monsters, Godzilla, let them fight. But a lot of explaining story elements about this game or trying to answer that question more deeply would be spoilers for the story. And that's why I have to be vague. I will tell you, though, that the interaction and realization of Knights of the Round, at the time, there's been moments since that had probably blown his mind more. But so Bob's in chat. That's Zach in chat. It's his name on YouTube anyway. When we got to the story beat where Knights of the Round was involved, Bob lost his collective shit. He'll remember it was quite the moment, I would say. Because you realize when it starts happening, what's happening, and then you realize you've actually didn't realize that it was all leading up to that. So yeah, he lost his mind a little bit. It was quite good. But yeah, there are a lot of the main summons like Ifrit and Garuda and Ramu and Titan and Quetzalcoatl and Leviathan and I'm just trying to think of different. There's so many. There's lots of them. They're just not done in the way that you would summon them yourself and utilize them and how you may have used them in the different games. Yeah. Like going much more into detail would be spoilers because they're treated differently in this game, and they're even treated multiple different ways depending on what expansion you're in. Yeah. 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 So they are in the game though, many of them. And to your question about you can't run into like Ruby Weapon with the smiling glasses face, all of the weapons are in this game. But in the way they're in this game is different in multiple ways, and you probably have to experience that for yourself. Yeah. What this game does, what Final Fantasy XIV does, is right now we're in this arc of a lot of Final Fantasy IV stuff. There's a lot of Final Fantasy IV bones in Endwalker. There's obviously its own story. But what Yoshi P and the Creative Business Unit 3 over at Square Enix does with this property is they take, like, Cloud isn't in this game, right? But his glam is, and what's her damn name's bike and Cloud's bike are both in the game. So like there's things like that, but there isn't direct things from other games. What they do is they take the story from other Final Fantasy games and sort of meld it into this game. So there's Rabinaster, if that name rings a bell. There's also Ivalice, if that rings a bell. And they're made into different parts, distilled down in a way, and then sort of made into the cake that is this game. So like, you know, 2 slices of the cake are based on Final Fantasy IV, right? There's some slices that are based on the earlier Final Fantasy pieces. There are zones or areas that may be based on like Final Fantasy Tactics or Final Fantasy XII, stuff like that. They pull different major story ideas and kind of merge them together in their own new way in this game. Yeah. But they're not like, here's Titus, you know, here's Zidane, here's Squall. They don't do that. But man, if they were to integrate Final Fantasy VIII more into this game, could you imagine if like Ultimisha was a big boss that came out of the void or something? I don't know. That would be wild. They could definitely keep doing more, which is why this game is so wild, because they have so much to pull from. Right, Ultimisha's Final Fantasy VIII, right? I didn't get my bad guys wrong. Yeah, she's Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah. Yeah. There are also some crossover stuff, like there's a Monster Hunter crossover at one point. I don't think they're going to do crossovers anymore. There's a Yokai Watch crossover event that happens sometimes. There's some other Japanese-oriented crossovers that come up. There is a huge Nier Automata crossover, which the raids for it are fine. They're a little still weird to fit into Final Fantasy XIV. The story that connects to that is a little weaker because it definitely doesn't feel totally connected, but it's still fine. It's fine. It's fine. The Nier crossover stuff is very hit or miss for players. Very hit or miss. They either like it or they don't. It's yes or no, pretty much. All right, let's keep going. And hello, internet friends. Welcome to the potentially final chunk of the Final Fantasy XIV Patch 6.2 MSQ journey through Buried Memory. There are still plenty more to do, of course, but this is mainly just the story stuff, the actual main scenario / main story quest. This is the 8th quest, A World with Light and Life. That almost got me a little tongue twisted there. So, never one to remain idle, Y'shtola would tend to an errand. If I may excuse myself, I wish to pay a visit to the High Crucible. Okay. While the scales functioned admirably, it would be prudent to have them inspected for signs of degradation. That's fine. By all means, I shall do the same for this vessel. True. Then I'll go and meet with the soldiers. Share with them what I learned fighting Voice into the 13th. What of you, my friend? Have you any immediate plans? Island Sanctuaries, Extreme Trial, new raid unlock story and clearing that. Working on my new crafted gear set, gathering more stuff to help other people with their crafted gear sets. What else? Getting new food and potions, most likely. I mean, like, I can keep going. There's plenty of things to do, Varshan. What are you doing? Yeah? Nothing in particular. I mean, bring up Zero, because I totally ship Zero and Varshan. Let's go. In that case, might I trouble you with a small task? I wish to have food ready for Zero when she awakes, you see. Well, she's going to sleep for 4 months. You're going to get food now and store it for 4 months? Are we going to make her like beef jerky? And salted pork? Things that last for months? She's going to sleep until December. Would you be willing to go to Myriad's Mehane and ask for a suitable refreshment? I can go get her some ale. Think she likes beer? Is she a beer, ale? You think she's like hard liquor, beer, ale, wine? I don't know. She's kind of edgy. She might be like an IPA girl. Excellent. In the meantime, Adhana shall watch over Zero. She is already en route. Let us each then tend to our respective businesses and reconvene anon. Okay. Speaking of which, if you had your pick of alcohols, what do you usually go for? I think I would go for like wine and rum. Not at the same time. That sounds disgusting. But wine and or rum would be my go-to. Not much of a beer guy. Oh yeah, they made that new teleport over here, right? Yeah, the High Crucible. So we're going to the Mehane, which apparently is just a word for like a gathering place. So I don't know what point it is to prep food now when she's going to sleep until December. And before she wakes up like at the last bit of this patch, and I'm totally wrong. Hello, Meride. Meride? Mariade? I don't know how to pronounce her damn name. Welcome to her Mehane. Do you think yourself comfortable? Yes, hello. Her drip is on point, though. What? A guest of the satrap has collapsed from hunger? Of course, I'll be happy to help. You need only tell me what you desire. Well, I also want to know how you guys get over the counter. Because you guys are locked in here. Do you just live here? Do you sleep on the floor? Where's like the break to walk behind the counter? Ridiculous. Your most expensive dish, just for good measure. Nope. Something light and refreshing, like fruit perhaps? Rich and hearty meal with plenty of meat, or a modest quantity of a living mortal's ether should suffice. That's the troll answer. I kind of want to do that. I want to see what she would say. Everyone chooses this. They have to choose this. It's so good. Because all she eats has been ether. She hasn't actually eaten food, which turns into ether. God, it's so tempting. But also, like, I don't know if this has any implication on the story going forward. Or, like, her reaction when you feed her. Makes you think she won't sleep for 4 months. Maybe she doesn't actually sleep. Maybe she wakes up at the end of this quest. But if I was going to go with, like, a real thing... I kind of think rich, hearty, meat-based. I think Zero would be into, like, a big stew and a giant chunk of bread. She definitely listens to metal, and this is the most metal dish on the list. One worthy of Nathan Explosion. Even though this is so good. That's such a good answer. It might just revolve around that. It might. Let's see. Let's do rich and hearty meat. Well, that might be perfect for an adventure preparing to raid a treasure vault. I fear it would be too much for someone coming out of a long slumber. I don't think so. I recommend something gentler on the stomach, like these apples here. They've just come in and I can guarantee their freshness. Damn it! The quest baited me. Crap. Afterwards, once your guest feels better, she's welcome to sample whatever else we can provide. Just let me know. Damn it. Give me like a big pot of stew. And a giant hunk of bread, Braveheart style. Rip. So as that side quest pops up, where does it pop up? These are all quests I haven't done yet still. I'm slowly working through all the side quests in the game. I've completed a couple of zones, but it does take some time to work through everything. Okay, so he's got some freaking apples. Those go bad in like 4 days. They just sit out and not be refrigerated or something. Can I just drop off the apples to the attendant, or this takes me inside? Welcome back. Lest you worry, Mistress Adhana has been taking good care of our guests. Will you be joining them now? Yes. Put some apples on the table that are miraculously not gonna rot. I still think she would have liked a big pot of soup. Oh, come on. I got so debated. Yoshi P. Oh. Voiced cutscene, unexpected.
Is this an inn? What happened? How did I get here? There's no time. I must rejoin the battle. I must...
Part of her real feelings coming out.
Oh, you're awake! Wonderful!
What is she gonna think when she sees Nidhana? She's a giant elephant woman. Okay, here we go. Yeah. That's to be about to be.
What is this? Some sort of fiend? A fiend? Where is it? Where?
That's good.
This is no time for jokes.
It was good.
You're in the source, my dear.
Yeah.
The world next door, so to speak. The others brought you here after you collapsed.
That was great. That was great. Little. I enjoyed that. Ooh.
I'll fetch them at once. Wait, just a moment.
Oh man, that's good. Melt that heart. Melt that heart. Yeah. Apples. Should be a big pot of meat stew. You see this girl's eyeliner?
I took the liberty of arranging refreshments. I hope you find them as flavorful as they are invigorating.
Well, I guess he's using the child avatar because the other one is now under inspection from being on the 13th for so long. Okay.
This isn't what you promised. But I suppose ether is ether.
Dude, the looking him up and down was... They had to hand animate the eyes there. That was cool. Oh. You dum-dum. No, just eat it.
Wait. Don't tell me you don't know how to eat?
Dude, and Hana is not having this. She is an angry grandma. Where are the cookies? And the beef stew?
I took what I needed from it. What's the problem?
Where's the enjoyment in that? You're supposed to bite, to chew, to savor, and then swallow.
This is too wholesome. Hello, Teddy. Welcome to the too wholesome section of the patch 6.2 MSQ.
That's the way. So, did it taste good?
Big grandma energy right now.
I don't know.
The long years without eating may have dulled your sense of taste.
Well, we void scent have no need for such when consuming others. There are some who speak of taste when describing the quality and affinity of their prey's ether.
Weird.
But I loathe the act. Taking ether in small amounts like this is one thing. But diluting my essence, diminishing myself, I'd sooner die. And I have died, countless times.
Are you a guardian?
You have? But what happens when you do?
Not much. After a while, you return, together with all your expended life force. The important thing is to die where others won't devour you.
Some life advice for you, kids. When you die, don't be where others can devour you. You'll eventually rematerialize. But if you get devoured, you won't.
Amazing! My peers who study immortality and resurrection would be most interested in this phenomenon.
Estinian doesn't understand. He's kind of dumb.
The question of taste aside, I am glad that you are able to partake of food like us. I dare say it agrees with your personal preferences.
That's true. You can keep giving me the same on a regular basis.
Just want to eat apples for 4 months?
Very well. As my guest, I shall see that you do not want for comfort.
She's gonna fall in love with a dragon from another dimension.
And one other thing.
Oh?
We brought you to our world without your consent. And for that, I apologize. If you wish it, we will return you to yours once you have regained your strength.
It's fine. I have no reason to go back. Except for yours, perhaps. You intend to cross over again, I take it.
Correct.
I do. I have yet to find my sister.
That is actually some pretty true statement right there. Estinian isn't dumb so much as a min-max build for one specific thing. The phrasing of that he's a min-max build. That's true. That's true.
I want nothing more than to rush to her aid, to find this Golbez and free her from his clutches, if he still holds her captive.
Though if our recent experience has taught us anything, 'tis that the 13th is more dangerous than we ever imagined. Caution must be our watchword.
Better late than never. In the short time you spent in our world, you left a trail of chaos in your wake.
We do that sometimes.
You managed to return in one piece this time. But don't assume you'll be so lucky the next.
Rest assured, we will make no assumptions and spare no preparation. Speaking of which, while we rest and ready ourselves, I ask that you tell me more about your home. In return, I will tell you about ours. I will show you my domain, Addt.
And they'll fall in love and make weird void sent crossbreed dragon babies. Sorry, about with the subtext.
Again, a stranger in this strange land. I have a condition. You must come too.
Oh, okay.
You have my thanks.
Subtext is for cowards. Ouch. Oh, so there's another one? This world is brimming with ether. I feel invigorated just standing here in the breeze. It has that effect on things. Glad am I to hear it. So, is there any place in particular you wish to see? Perhaps where the food came from? Apple, was it? While I don't expect I'll collapse again, it would be good to know where I can procure more if necessary. So, Maried's Mehane. It is then. I shall introduce you to the head waitress. Oh, Mealy. Roshan and Zero are now accompanying you. Wow. Hold on, I gotta get some little small talk. While bound to Xenos, I never saw vibrant cities like this, only ruined places, not so different from the void. Yeah, that was definitely Xenos' aesthetic. That's Do you recall the time we traveled together to the outpost? Should our tour take us outside the city, we must make use of the Hamza again. Is she gonna use... Is she gonna... So we do have to walk all the way over there. Well, I guess we're not. There's no other talking points on the path, I don't think. We could just walk all the way over there. Not too long of a walk across the city. Because they teleport with you now when you etherite. Maybe you have to be close proximity, because there's a talking bubble here. It's whether there's no other talking bubbles anywhere. I guess because you're meant to teleport. Whatever, we'll walk. Or I guess jog. Because we can't mount in Radzahan. We can sprint though. Oh yeah, so I was looking, I guess when you finish. Yeah, I still gotta do the rest of the damn class quests. So much to do in this game. Just like an unbelievable, never-ending amount of stuff. Go through the doors and then go down the stairs. Wham, bam, bam, bam. Yeah, I would have expected more little talking bubbles across the city. Maybe there's no talking bubbles until after you get to a certain place. Oh, so is that not the Savage gear then? Just the raid gear for tanks has the cool cloaks. Oh, there's a Nadra crafting away. I thought all the Savage gear would have that, but maybe it's just raid gear period and the Savage gear is dyeable. Maybe that's the difference. Yeah, there's just one talking bubble right here outside. Maybe we have to just go in order. So maybe we're supposed to teleport, I guess. We could attempt to introduce Zero to Mayrad herself, but Miley is more likely to be available. I just walked up to the counter. Is this the place? The air is different here, and I speak not of the heat. There's a texture to it, a fullness, unlike that of elsewhere. You smell the cooking, I believe. Hannish cuisine is quite fragrant and delicious. I hope you will agree. Give her the pot of meat stew and a big chunk of bread. And a heavy metal guitar solo. Maybe not. Maybe that's all a facade. Maybe I've read her wrong. Maybe she likes, I don't know, theater and classical music. Apparently the Savage version, while dyeable, dies poorly. That's unfortunate. I guess people can preview it. Can you preview it and then preview dyeing it? Is that why people know already? Hi, Mealy. Welcome to the name of the place that's hard to pronounce. Also, sorry that road just walked in front of me. Greetings, Miley. May I introduce you to Zero? She is an esteemed guest, and I ask that you see to her meals during her stay. Ah, yes. Myriad told me about... has told me all. Again, weird English. The way you'd want to read that, like, told me all about her, is not the way it reads. Please come to us whenever you're hungry. We'll look after you. To assure that Bay obtained the apple. Well, it was like 7 of them, but yes. While the palace cooks can prepare whatever you desire, 'tis certainly a quick and convenient food. I'll remember it. Get her giant pot of stew. Who are the ones there moving their bodies about? That's some ritual related to eating? No, those are just dancers, just doing their thing. The dancers, they move their bodies to bring pleasure to those who are watching. It's a form of entertainment, part of our culture. How needlessly complicated. We voids then prefer simpler pleasures. Yes, like the riff of a really heavy metal guitar string. That may be the way of it now, but your world too must have had such complicated diversions once. I don't remember. She was literally a baby in the womb when her world was swallowed by darkness. She was born into what it became, as we know it. So she doesn't know anything back then. Well, let us move on. I propose we visit, the Balshan Bazaar, where the goods of the world over may be found. The goods of the world over. I put the comma in the wrong place. Can we just go down to the bazaar now? No extra talking. Yeah, I guess the armor stuff could have been done during data mining. You can view the armor on the vendor. But I guess you can't view and then dye preview, perhaps? What are all these things for? What do you do here? This is a marketplace where people buy and sell goods. Since its earliest days, Radzadhan has served as a trading hub, and here you'll find not only local products, but wares from distant lands. I should mention that the vendors generally only accept payment in coin or tomestones. If there is aught you desire, I shall take care of it. Yep, gil or different tomestones, which essentially then turn into gil. I don't know how they intertrade them, but that's what tomestones are for. Voidsent returned with them on occasion, but I never knew their purpose. They struck me as useless trinkets, and I couldn't understand your obsession with them. They're called weekly currencies. You're in an MMO, Zero. There are currencies that you grind. On that subject, there appears to be no shops on the 13th. Do you never make bargains in which possessions are exchanged? We do, but rarely. We strike bargains when we want something done. If we desire an object, we kill whoever has it. It's a dog-eat-dog world. I see, I see. Your bargains may be likened to employment, I believe. I shall bear this in mind. Wait, do employers kill people? Are we in like a Breaking Bad universe right now? With that, let us continue. I propose we head to the High Crucible of Aokiyama. Yeah, no other talking bubbles. Okay. The High Crucible, this is where Y'shtola is. This is where all the alchemists are. Hence all of the alchemy madness. Oh, we gotta talk to Ishu? Why? Master Vrtra. How may we serve you this morning? If you're here for your vessel, I'm afraid we're still tending to it. No, there is no rush. Pray take as much time as you require and know that I have complete faith in your work. The High Crucible is home to the finest alchemists. They are the ones who created my bodies and can provide you with healing as well. Now that I think on it, you weren't all that surprised when I changed forms. Were you aware of my nature from the start? That I was a soul occupying a vessel, not my own. Hardly uncommon in our world. When given the chance, many shed their bodies to claim stronger ones. Oh, you must be the rumored guest. I've been most eager to meet you. If you have a moment, would you care to stay for some tea? The sisters know we'd love to hear your tales. No, I've had enough food for now and can always obtain more without the need of inane chatter. Gotta melt that heart, baby. Now, no need to decline outright. I dare say you are tired, so let us save it for another time and return to Megaduta. If aught catches your eye en route, do not hesitate to say so. Oh, talking bubbles? Nope. No talking bubbles. Just... Oh, the Hamsa. We're gonna go by the Hamsa cage? Yeah, so nothing else here. Is Y'shtola actually here? She does not seem to actually be here. Okay. That's a node for a different MSQ quest. A main story quest. Oh yes, the infamous main story quest. Oh, we have to go back up the stairs then, I suppose. Yeah, the new raid armor has this cool back cloak effect. I think it's only for tanks though. I think DPS have horns and healers have... There's another one right here. What glows on the healer caster sets? So, no, is healer caster horns and the DPS have like boots and gloves or something? I gotta pull up the picture. The first time they've had like new glowy armor in the game. One of the first things I saw, I think it was Zepla, tweeted out that we World of Warcraft now with a picture of the new raid armor. Which is a little silly, but I guess it's not very common in 14. Oh, this is the not the Hamsa right over there. The giant weird chicken hamsters. This is just a little vineyard here. cutscene action. Is olive vineyards, I think, right? Some sort of fruit. Pitiful things, though. I imagine you need to eat a lot of them to derive any satisfaction. Mulberries. Close enough. These are mulberry trees. While the fruit are indeed edible, more important are the leaves, which we form to feed to silkworms. Without the creatures, we wouldn't have the silk to make our famous Favnarian weave. Furthermore, the bark of the trees also possesses medicinal properties. We would be hard-pressed to find a more useful plant. Yep. Use every part of the animal. Is that so? Aside from food, I wouldn't have considered any other purpose for it. Master Vrtra, and Bay too. Oh no, who's this? Oh. Radzadhan children? If it isn't young Mayrad. Oh yeah, they part of the vineyard or whatever, the farm. I don't know what you call it when it's just a berry farm? That must be your sister, Yashra. Is all well with the orphanage? Ah, yes. The orphanage from all the people that were killed during this expansion. Because that happens. Oh, we've got the Goku top. This is an expensive piece of clothing. They're taking good care of these kids at the orphanage. This thing's like $1 million gil. What the hell? Dude, the orphanage is popping off. You dye this thing orange and it looks like the gi top. You can make a Goku transmog in this game. Oh. Yes, Your Excellency. The other children are very nice and we look out for one another. Oh, just the other day, Astinian came to see us. Everyone was really excited. Truly? Astinian paid you a visit? That is well. Astinian is all for helping the kids because he doesn't want what happened to him to happen to any other youth. Is she a new friend? Friend? You know what you know what that is? Pretty simple concept. Zero. Come on. Melt that heart. What, you mean you don't? She's a visitor from a faraway land, you see, and is still unfamiliar with our language. Then we'll teach you. A friend is someone you like to play with. Kind of. Or kill bad guys with. Or whatever. Play with? That's an interesting way to put it. Because didn't Xenos kind of use that terminology again too? I think he did. It's like, I want to play or whatever like that. You know, that whole song and dance. Xeno seemed to be enjoying himself when he fought you. Is that the same thing? Yeah, see. Yep. I was there before the text box even popped up. More or less or absolutely not. This is a hard yes or no, pass or fail. Oh man. For how you perceived that relationship with Xenos. I mean, I'll hit her with the more or less. It was definitely a lot of frenemy energy, that's for sure. At least the way that I understood it. It's different to everyone. You either go quite hot on that situation that spans multiple expansions or quite cold. I see, but is having someone to play with so fulfilling? I still do not understand why. Well, there's group content sometimes that requires up to 4 or 8 people, depending on the game. It's 6 people in Destiny 2. Different games have different group compositions that require different amounts of people. Like World of Warcraft takes like 5 or 10 or 20. So, I mean, it depends on what you're doing. I do not understand why. Why he traversed the great expanse, why he risked life and limb for you. He did kind of do that. But I waste energy dwelling on such things. I am not Xenos. I stand to gain nothing by knowing his heart. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't explain it well. No need to apologize. The fault is not yours, but mine for failing to make sense of your words. Okay. I think if they could upgrade their animation capacities in this game so that animations do not... that animations don't do what just happened there. A lot of the animations in this game are just triggered by like emotes or the facial rigs just changing animation, but they don't have any type of like lead in or fade in or smooth transition. They just kind of go like... they just snap in like 2 frames. If they could find a way to improve that, which might be part of their whole visual upgrade of the game, a lot of these cutscenes that are just simple talking ones won't kind of feel as old or as, I guess, not cheap, but not as, I guess, fulfilling, because the animations are kind of just like so, you know, push button on, you know, animatronic doll face goes smile, right? That's not how our faces usually emote. So I don't know, just a thing of the game being a little old in the engine. We better luck. Better get back to our errand. Goodbye. It's nice meeting you. Still can't believe this kid's wearing the Goku top. I think it's expensive. That's not a smile. That was an eye smile. Interesting. What is a friend is a seemingly simple question, but the answer is anything but. Only a child, innocent and pure, can reply with nary a moment's hesitation. Through Xenos, I thought I understood the ways of your world, but the more I learn of it, the more I realize how little I actually know. It's also strange, your behavior and your reasons. I find myself baffled at every turn, but the feeling is not unwelcome. I'm learning, bit by bit. It was the right decision to join you. Melting that heart. A world with life, a light and life. So darkness warped all life in the void, even plants. And now do I recall flowers and the value they held. Only now. Based on the fact that they didn't exist. There were kind of weird flowers back then, though. Oh, this is the last quest of the patch, because it is named the patch. Usually that's how it goes with the end of a expansion or end of a patch cycle. The last quest in the line is normally named that thing. We can get some food or some Allegan silver pieces. All right, here's the finale, I suppose. Buried Memory. A gentle smile plays on Varshan's lips. Backstory incoming. I believe Zero's time here has been rewarding, and 'twas in no small part due to your company. My thanks for agreeing to join us. Come, let us return to Megaduta. Oh yeah, so Dalthorn in chat was talking to me about the armor sets. Tanks of the red ring with horns. Reaper Dragoon have that but purple. Monk Samurai have shoulders that are on fire. With a helmet that makes it look like the inside of their mask is hollow, except for a roaring fire. Ninja has the purple fire that the horns and some flames in the shoulders. Aiming is that but orange and red. Healing is red horns with the shoulders creating a bonfire-like look. And the caster is that but purple. Okay. I mean, I'll eventually get the drip. I haven't run the new raid and stuff yet, so I'll probably do that tonight, but I gotta do a lot of farming as well. But I gotta get done before the weekend. There's a lot to do. A lot to do. Welcome back, Master Bacon. Getting to the guest chambers. It looks really cool, though. The armor itself. Here, I have a picture of it.
So, what are your impressions of Vrtra?
One moment, please. Vrtra, one moment. The picture is not as easily accessible as I thought it was. I've been debated. There it is. One moment. It's the image from the actual Final Fantasy website. I was trying to pull up. I thought I had it bookmarked, but yeah, so I guess they all have different combinations of horns and backs and shoulders. Yeah. And obviously different weapons. The weapons, I imagine, though, were only the savage ones. The ones that have the glow weapons. I don't think the normal weapons would glow, but they might. We won't know for... unless you get lucky and or 7 weeks, right? Yeah. Anyway, back to the story. Sorry.
There's a lot of mortals.
Considering your origin, I can see why that might be your first observation. Though they would call each other people, I think.
So we got a whole roast chicken, apples and pears, goblets, soup, salad, a strawberry tart. We've got some skewers of meat, cheese, and 2 pieces of pizza. Because this is a video game, after all. And apparently Radzahan or Hanish cuisine has pizza. The pizza's a little odd.
If you wish to know about our fair city, I should be glad to place a guide at your disposal.
No need. I'll show myself around. There's only so much about my home I can share with you in return, after all. While I remember some few tales of the past, I cannot speak to their authenticity. But if that is enough, then I will tell you of the events that saw darkness engulf our world. The Contra Memoria.
Yes, please.
We are all ears. Please.
Long ago, light filled the world and all was at peace. But then the servants of darkness came, and they bequeathed a black art unto men. Channeling the power of hope and prayer, one could call forth fearsome beings known as Eidolons.
Interesting. I wonder if that was a choice made in recording or a misrecording or separating that pronunciation of the word because she's a different world. So Eidolon is how I've always heard it pronounced. An Eidolon or a primal or a summon. That's what John was asking about earlier in chat. But she pronounced it Eidolons. Hard D-O. Interesting.
The Ascians. And these Eidolons are surely primals.
Yeah.
Then you have faced the same, and understand that when an Eidolon is birthed, strife follows. And in such strife, the weak are the first to suffer.
So similar to what happens in our world, yep.
When it seemed the world would be plunged into chaos, heroes appeared. They who were blessed with a singular power. The power to bind the ether of Eidolons within crystals known as Memoria.
So somewhat similar to what the Warrior of Light or Warrior of Darknesses do. Just different version on a different world.
My mother was one such Memoriate. But in fighting to save many, she herself was touched by darkness. As was I.
And so you were born part Void Sent, before the world was overcome.
How exactly did that calamity come to pass? Did the Memoriates not triumph?
they did. They expunged the seeds of chaos and restored the peace, only to find themselves seduced by the darkness they had sealed.
Primal Whispers. Okay, so similar again. Just not the same.
They spread the taint, transforming men into monsters, what you call void scent, and raised armies to wage new wars.
It's an awesome picture. That's really cool.
Not the first to be corrupted by power, nor the last.
Some defied temptation and held fast to the light. My mother and I among them. For years and years we fought, but it was not enough. And when our strength was spent, our bulwarks broken, so too was the world.
The flood of darkness.
The stars faded from the heavens as a pall black as pitch enveloped creation. Darkness raged unchecked, rending the very walls of reality. I was cast into the rift, and there trapped for what felt like an eternity. Until I came upon a crack. Tiny, infinitesimal, but enough for me to squeeze through. And find my world changed beyond recognition, into the lightless waste you saw.
So that is how you were able to escape becoming a void scent in full.
I suppose I should consider myself fortunate. Were I like most others, I wouldn't have lasted a day before being devoured. We, the lost, are better equipped to survive in a lost world.
Astinian's reaction there. He understands what she's saying because Astinian was like that before.
A lost world, you say?
Jurassic Park, A Lost World. Starring Jeff Goldblum. Sorry.
I wouldn't be so sure. The 13th is still there, is it not?
What are you getting at?
To explain requires that we initiate you into the truth of the source and its reflections. Be warned that this will take a while.
Y'shtola is about to give you one of those non-skippable cutscenes, Zero. Those take earlier on in the game. There are many very detailed cutscenes that talk a lot, and you learn so much about the overall arcing lore of this game. I would probably say if you stitch together all those cutscenes, it might be like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. Hour and a half. Hour and 20? Hour and a half? Good Lord. That's so good. That's such a referential thing to translate over as well, because sometimes the developers of this game and the writers in more particular fashion are directly speaking through these characters they've created over all these years, and they're talking to the player. There's a few parts of this game where the game is breaking. It's a soft breaking of the fourth wall, but they break the fourth wall to talk to the player. One in particular time, there was an event in the game where your Warrior of Light basically talks to Yoshi P in the game. Like, that's a total fourth wall break for a special event kind of thing. But there are some moments that in the dialogue, you're just like, oh, they're talking to me. They're talking to the Warrior of Light that I'm playing as, but they're talking to you, the person with your butt in the chair, right? And that's an interesting way to do it, because you you as a physical being in this potentially digital landscape. You're the person playing through this character, living in this RPG world. And as a role-playing game, people take on aspects, or part of how you play the game, or what you do in the game, or the class you play in the game, or whatever. Like that represents who you are in real life to some degree. Obviously, not all of you are ninja shinobi that can turn invisible, but... Or you can't jump 80 feet in the air and fall back down and not kill yourself as a dragoon. I'm gonna say like that. There's, quirks and little facets of you that transition into the game, into your character, like how they look or how they act or how they dress, whatever. So that is interesting because this line of Y'shtola is you as the player. I realize what she's saying here, but the fact that she's saying it to Zero, who's essentially a new player in the game, based on her being out of the loop for so long because of what happened to her shard, her world. That's an incredibly dense chunk of dialogue in 2 sentences that means so much because how this game is constructed. That's so cool. And I might be reading too much into this because I've got film boy brain. Because I'm a huge film and TV nerd. I love long stories. I like that stuff. But that's so... it's going to fade up and fade back down. I don't know. That's a long time. Will the time of day change? Because it's like afternoon right now. It should definitely be nighttime after this. I mean, she's explaining the first. She's probably explaining the ancients. She's explaining Hydaelyn and Zodiark. She's explaining the Ascians. She's explaining the primals. She's explaining the duality of...
Unlike the worlds that have been rejoined, mine still...
Yeah, still exists. So, okay, she gave her the cliff notes. I was expecting it to like have a fadeaway cutscene and come back and the food's all gone or something. That was actually much quicker than I thought. She gave her the cliff notes.
The Oracle of Light prevented the first from being completely overcome. So the situation may not be completely identical to that of your 13th. But the fact remains that we were able to restore a measure of balance to a world brought to the brink of destruction. After which, some intrepid young souls succeeded in restoring life back to lands thought lost to light.
Yeah.
Which gives me cause to hope the day may yet come when life springs forth anew in the 13th.
There has to be a balance. Light and dark in this game's context, which is similar to how other games use it as a narrative device too. In this game in 14, light and dark ether, powers, energies, whatever, they have different elemental affinities on this huge elemental chart. And if you have all of one or a huge suffusion of one, it overpowers and diminishes the others. And you have these very different worlds. Hers, the 13th shard that Zero comes from, is all dark. And in Shadowbringers, which doesn't go into spoilers, but just like the overarching feel of that game, is a world of all light. And as players, we've now learned so much more about this. And it's yin and yang, right? Light and dark, white and black kind of a situation. But yeah, her world isn't gone. It is still there. It could be repaired if enough light was brought to that world. It could balance itself out. There's actually a whole raid line, quest line about the different balances, and you as the player through steps in the quest line literally get to see how these two etheric forces mix together to create the color spectrum, to create water, to create vegetation, to bring about, you know, a whole evolution, like a microcosm of you need both things to balance out. You do that in game. That's the Eden quest line.
Of course, these are only possibilities. I offer no guarantees. But having experienced what we have, I dare say we are more qualified than most to speak on the matter.
Yeah, I would say so.
Wait, I don't understand. Why would you say these things? As if you mean to...
Yes?
But the sole reason you came to the Void was...
To find a dragon, aye. And in light of what we've seen, we'd be fools to strive for more.
Ah, Estinian's such a good character. Man, when you grow with this character over these... Well, it took me about a year. But... That's so cool. Estinian knows. All these animations that the people in this game put together, when Estinian turned away to like look into himself on that, reflecting on what Zero said, that these are conscious animation decisions. And this stern pose with his eyes closed, that's resolved, right? It's all these little storytelling moments in this game that are so well crafted. They care so much to make all these characters have their own little way about the body language or how they look, and man, so good. Damn it.
But we Scions, former Scions, begging your pardon, have a habit of not leaving well enough alone.
Estinian's kind of like me. Under these bangs, got a big forehead. Big forehead.
And old habits die hard, don't they, my friend?
Restoring the light would serve our efforts to find and free Azdaja. There is no reason not to try.
Yeah.
Do as you will. I have no desire to save that world.
Be that as it may, we will have need of your power when next we face Void Scent.
You know how it works. If you want my help, you must pay my price. And now that you've drawn Golbez's attention, it's going to cost you more. A lot more.
There's an apple in frame on purpose here. Yep.
I will consider this a deposit.
Oh? That's a giant mug of ale. Oh my god. Could be mead. I bet Estinian drinks mead. Probably mead. God, that story was so... That cutscene story bit right there was so good. That was so good. It almost feels like Zero is like a new player. It kind of feels like this quest line, this part of the patch content is almost speaking to new players. I mean, a lot of new players have joined Final Fantasy XIV over the past couple of years due to the plight of other MMOs, and in particular the Activision Blizzard situation with World of Warcraft and whatnot. God, that was so good. There's so many layers to that. That was excellent. Damn. Though our time in the Void was short, we managed to ascertain that my sister yet lives, and it cannot be overstated how fortunate we are to have met Zero. But the greater blessing is nevertheless you, my friend, for your encouragement to embark upon my search anew and your help in overcoming the challenges thus far. I'm just a button boy, all right? What the hell? It's a void scent. Little blob void scent got through. You wanna take care of that little thing? Golbez and his minions will seek to stymie our efforts. Of this, we can be sure. But with all you at my side, I have confidence that we will succeed, that we will find and liberate my sister, and we shall return home together. There it is. We'll take the elegant silver pieces for the Doman Enclave. Thank you. Oh! Meanwhile, elsewhere. Meanwhile, at the Fortress of Doom. Kinda. Mouse on the screen, sorry.
First Scarmiglione, and now Barbariccia. Useless, the both of them.
'Twas no lie. They conspire with a Memoriat.
And their search for the dragon will lead them here. The war looms nigh. We cannot allow these interlopers to interfere.
If I may, my lord, I have a plan to eliminate them. In order to guarantee its success, however, I will require Cagnazzo's cooperation.
Cagnazzo? Is that the water guy?
Yeah, there's sport to be had, then I'll play along. As much as I dislike following your lead, I have no patience for scheming.
Well and good to have confidence, but do not forget the cost of failure.
Rest assured, I will see the dream to fruition. Even should I be consumed by my own flames, I will pave the way for one and all.
Then I will trust in your oath and your plan.
We will give you cause to rejoice, my lord. This I vow. Some excitement for a change.
No sacrifice is too great. Even should my 4 archfiends be lost, I will not halt my steps. The prison of passivity is an obstacle to my cause, and so you must fall.
Is that an Asian?
What irony that the blessed damned should set us free. As I swore so long ago. The gate lies open. At long last, my ambition shall be fulfilled!
Even realms long lost to dark may find in memory's rebirth spark. Into the light. Awesome. Awesome. Let me just archive this footage for editing for later. And that was 8 and 9. That story cutscene, sitting down to eat, that was superb. It was so damn good. Good grief. Okay. The quest you mentioned, Dal, is south. Oh, the Shadowed Past, the one that isn't a synced quest? Okay. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna just bumper record it to see if it's an important, somewhat tied to MSQ oriented, then we shall do so. What is it called again? It was Shadowed Past. Oh, the little it's the teased little guy. Okay. Shadowed Pasts. Absolutely. Oh, well, hello again, internet friends. We find ourselves post the MSQ for patch 6.2 in Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. The buried memory stuff is all wrapped up, but I was alerted to a quest called Shadowed Pasts that spawns after the MSQ. If you remember, there was a little void sent blob that ran away, and this Radiant Scout clearly went to follow them. And yeah, something has had this Radiant Scout unnerved. So let's check. It's essentially a non-MSQ chain, but related to. Let's do it. Ah, Master Bay, you couldn't have appeared at a better time. You see, while out patrolling the city, I chanced to sight a void scent. You did, I saw it. Indeed. It was a little blob boy. Little blobman. I immediately chased it down with the intent of eliminating it, but something about it struck me as odd. For one, it made no move to defend itself, but simply sat there, jiggling. Which is why, against my better judgment, I had decided to capture it instead. Having traveled to the void, I dare say you have considerable knowledge of its denizens. If you have a moment, I'm going to trouble you for an opinion on the creature's unusual behavior. It's not a full-on, like, placard, like a quest placard, too. So, it's not going to be a tiny quest. I'm truly grateful. Now, if you follow me, the creature is being held in the Hall of the Radiant Host. Okay, yes, sure, of course. That's where... Well, I'll do a little teleport over there. I don't need to walk across the whole damn city. We're going to the hall where all the other role quests are that I also haven't done. Don't look at them. Let's go see what this is about. big door. Yep, there he is. Sullen-eyed void scent. The void scent glowers in your direction, but says nothing. I mean, it is just a blob. It's a baby blob. It is mostly eyeball. Here it is. Surprisingly docile even when I captured it, and there have been no reports of attacks prior to that. Is blob. Even so, it's the nature of void scent to prey on people for their ether. Perhaps it bides its time waiting to carry out some manner of scheme. Ah! Wait, sorry, hold on.
I remember you. Yes, you were in Troya. Please, you must help me.
What do you need help with? Or you were at the castle? Troya Castle? Yeah, specifically. Be from the eyebrow raise?
Indeed I was, but I've since fled here. I understand the mortal tongue well enough, but I don't have a mouth to produce the sounds. It's been a struggle to convey my thoughts. But not anymore. You can help me. Yes, you can.
He's talking to you telepathically. That's what the border means. You can converse with the void scent. Amazing. Could you ask it why it came here? I mean, it can hear you.
When you and yours stormed the castle, I was caught up in the fighting and died. In time I returned, but I tire of fighting, so I fled, using the gate to your world. Having just been reborn, however, my essence hadn't fully bound together yet, and so when I emerged from the gate, it was several sundered shells. Frightened and confused, they scattered. Following their trail led me here. My diminutive size allowed me to remain largely unseen. But by the same token, I can do little more than sneak about. Each of us was weak and powerless, but why we consumed one another in the first place? Together we were strong. I want you to help me find all of me, so that I can be whole again.
Making a giant, a small blob, a big blob? We'll strike a bargain then. Ah, well that's keyword in their world. So, what do you intend it to do in this world? Or you want to strike a bargain? I mean, he knows what he wants to do. He wants to consume all the fragments of himself. But what's the bargain then?
Yes, I would. To be whole again and live in this world, I would strike 1,000 bargains. We still remember the past, you see. Still remember when we were mortals. We long to live that life again, but we need your help. Starting by reuniting us, we won't try to devour anyone, even when we're whole, I swear. You wish to learn more about the Void? Yes, there is much we can teach you about those who rule its domains, about its past. Find the others, and then they'll tell you all they know. No eating, no tricks. Do we have a bargain?
So it crossed over to our world to escape conflict, now searches for the rest of itself. I understand Void Scent are quite reliable when it comes to fulfilling a pact. I dare say having one as an ally would benefit our research into their world. Very well. If you would be so kind as to search for its kin, I would consult my superiors on how best to deal with them. Oh, you let it eat itself to become whole again?
By that, I take it we have a bargain. Good, good. I sense 4 others close by. When we find them, we need to point them in this direction. Once they sense my presence, I can guide them the rest of the way.
Okay.
Like me, the others have an interest in the lives of mortals. They are bound to be here in this city.
Okay. Guess we were finding... Okay, they're kind of all over the damn place. Wayward Hektai.
What's that? I asked you to search for me in exchange for knowledge about powerful void scent? I was still wanting to see this and that, but I suppose a deal is a deal. Those men over there, soldiers, are they not? We used to have soldiers in our world too. There were lots of them during the Contra Memoria.
Ah, back from Weaver's warding, are you? I heard you fought well against the void set that slipped through. Come now, I merely did my duty. Haven't we all sworn to protect our nation, no matter the cost? Fair enough.
Protect our nation. How familiar, those words. Where was it that I heard them? Ah, yes, it was the early days of the Contra Memoria. The enemy had captured a terrible eidolon that had laid siege to a fortress. The garrison was made up of ordinary soldiers, men and women with no remarkable abilities. But, led by their valiant commander, they fought bravely and desperately. They had to last until the Memoriat arrived. The commander told them they had to hold out no matter the cost. The Memoriat did eventually arrive, but not soon enough for the soldiers. Having struck down the eidolon, the Memoriat and servants searched the castle for survivors. They found only the dead. But just when they had given up all hope, a faint groaning reached their ears. They rushed over to the sound and cleared away debris. To find a lone survivor, the garrison commander. Instead of joy, however, the sight of the man filled them with anger.
Your soldiers have slaughtered to a man, yet there's barely a scratch on you. What's the meaning of this? The eidolon was savage but mindless. It was a simple thing to hide myself beneath fallen debris. I was a coward then, I guess? Hide? As commander, you had the duty to your men. You were supposed to put their lives before your own. Spare me. My duty was to ensure the fortress stood, and it did. Besides, my death wouldn't have achieved nothing. Honor be damned. No, I'm sworn to protect our nation, and to do that, I must live. It isn't my fate to fall here. Wow. It isn't your fate, you say? Yeah, that's a Memoriat then. Ugh! Oh, geez, Rick! Memoriat just chop that boy down. Is he merely unconscious? Colin, let us bury the soldiers and their commander with them. You're gonna bury him alive? Does Kill Bill? Fate shall decide what becomes of him, whether he lives or dies. I'm sure if you bury him in the ground, very well, my lord. A little dark. Oh, he's a zombie. It is Kill Bill.
Funeral rites were later held for the fallen, but solemn tears did quickly give way to horrified screams as a body emerged from the earth. The commander. I can't die. I must live, the man is said to have declared. Sorry. The people thought him a demon, a disheveled horror, muttering curses as he wandered off to regions unknown. Scarmiglione, they called him, a name befitting his newfound grisly visage. A name befitting a monster.
Scarmiglione was a cat guy?
We thought we buried him deep, but a mortal's desire to live is not to be underestimated. You're a mortal, so I expect you to understand that desire. Well, that concludes my tale. I had best rejoin my selves, if you'll excuse me.
Okay. Where are we going? Porting over to the Mehane, I guess. Let's go over there. Wakegnaggio and Rubucante end up being Lalafell. Or that world's versions, right? Very, very well could be possible. Oh, it's over here. The Wayward Hektai. Let's see.
This is where mortals can consume ether. Dreading loneliness more than hunger? How very like me. If you don't mind, though, I'd like to observe the mortals a while longer.
The food here is simply sublime. Why, I feel stronger with every bite, as if the Magra themselves were granting me their blessing. The food is tasty is true enough, but no food is sublime as to be a substitute for proper training, my friend. Stronger with every bite, every feed. Oops, wrong voice.
For my part of the bargain, I will tell you about how the wee void scent became strong. Simply put, it depends on the quality and quantity of ether we harbor. When the world will be consumed by darkness, the heroes known as Memoriates arose as powerful void scent. In contrast, the vast majority of mortals, powerless and unremarkable as they were, became ordinary void scent, like me. There were exceptions, of course, but one in particular, I'll never forget. Scarmiglione never had seen a void scent so craven. Even when we were pushed to the brink of starvation, he would prey only on those weaker than himself. He subsisted on scant leavings and lived in constant fear and hunger. In the face of danger, a void scent stronger than himself, fleeing was the only option. The day came when he found his way barred.
Oh, Knight in Black. How pitiful. Ah, Golbez. Such overwhelming ether. Who is this? You fled instead of facing your foe. Why? Why? I'm too weak. Why else? I would have been devoured. So had you enough strength, you would have stood your ground. Very well then. Oh? Get juiced? What's happening? Yes, I feel it. Yes, I can do this. I can win. I feel great. Dragon Ball Z abridged anyone? The power swelling within me. Lo, your foe returns. Oh, it's one of those weird bat things. All right, well, he did what he said he was going to do. Hiss, what have you done to me? I granted you but a sliver of ether. It was with the power you already possessed that you defeated your foe. Ah, you tricked him. Kind of. I possessed such power? Oh? Fear had cluttered your eyes, blinded you to the strength you had attained feeding on the weak. If you would free yourself from fear, then join me. You shall have a greater cause to live for and to know true power. Okay, very Dark Lord inspired, gaining subjects. I see.
Curious how, in a world without death, the fear of it could be the key to great strength. The knight recognized this, recognized the void sense potential, and thus did take him into his service. Determined as he is to live, It wouldn't surprise me if he were still somewhere out there. He'd be even more powerful now, I suspect. From all the devouring he would have done since. Unlike your world, eating actually makes you stronger in ours. Have you ever played Dark Souls? Well, I must be going. The others are waiting.
Makes me wonder what is going to happen in the story with all of the archfiends as we no doubt trap them in Memoria crystals. Very curious. We'll head over to the Kama, which is basically the apartment buildings, which don't seem to be enough apartments to house everyone, but who knows. Here we are. Here we are.
My other self grows lonely, you say? My apologies. It was my intent to seek out the others, but I was distracted by the bickering pair of mortals yonder. My goodness! There's been some colorful language.
To hell's with your father. You shouldn't need his permission just to leave the God's damn house. Please mind your language. What would father say if he were to hear you? Ugh, it's always father this and father that with you. I'm sick of it. You're your own woman now. Bloody act like one for a change. Based?
Colorful language, yes. Not from the girl, though. Uh-oh, she appears to be quite well-bred. I just hope she's happier than a girl I knew long ago. That girl was born into a family of thugs who suddenly found themselves nobility. She was raised as a noble woman and had servants tending to her every need, but in the end, she was merely a beautiful bird kept in a gilded cage. Wanting her to be a proper lady, her parents presided over all aspects of her life. They decided everything for her, telling her what to say and what to do. Chafing from the fetters of her restricting life, she solicited her handmaiden's aid and stole outside the manor, where she enjoyed a moment of bliss unbeknownst to her parents. Or so she thought. Have you ever seen the Disney classic Aladdin? Yeah, kind of like that. Just anime. Sorry. It was long before her father dragged her back to her room, barring the door and windows, denying her even the simplest pleasure of an afternoon breeze. Even a bird in a cage may chirp freely, but she wasn't even suffered to give voice to her desires. But she wouldn't be deterred. Having once tasted sweet freedom, she yearned for more, and one day she succeeded in sneaking out of the manor a second time.
You're late. I was beginning to think you wouldn't come. If you're expecting your friends, I'm afraid they're not coming. Oof. the lightning strike. Father, how did you... what do you mean they're not coming? I had known that some miscreants were cavorting in these parts, but to think that they'd dare try to consort with my daughter... Well, you didn't worry about them anymore. They're food for the fishes now. Obvious evil laugh insert here, asterisks. How could you do this, Father? Why must you torment me so? Know your place, girl. You are a means for our family to gain influence, and I won't have you sullying yourself with riffraff. Not based. Yeah. Go Kill Bill on his ass. Oh, the axe is there. Oh, when she backed up. Yo, environmental storytelling. Also, the lightning strike striked on her that time. You will not leave your chamber save with my permission, nor will you disobey me again. If you do so, there will be severe consequences. Am I understood? Sorry. I said, am I understood? Yo, his back is turned. Critical backstab allowed. To hell. Whoa. What did you say? Oh, now he's facing forward. Whoa. Oh. That. Oh, she must hit him with the hilt? Oh, never mind. I said go to hell. They probably can't use slashing, gurgling, bloody noises for that, as a little too violent for this game. Although, so she's an axe murderer now. Arg! Well, holy crap. Okay. It's in his freaking head. No blood, though. Oh, she liked that. Oh, to think that I could be so exhilarating to speak my mind, to do as I please. No more living in a cage. From this moment on, I am free. Free as the wind. She's gonna go watch Pocahontas. Good Lord.
The young woman struck out on her own and in her travels discovered her true calling, not in the halls of lords or ladies, but on the battlefield. She became a force of nature, famed for her striking beauty, which belied a terrible savagery. And with this new life, she claimed a new name. Barbricia. Indeed, she found her freedom, and did she also find happiness, I wonder? I suppose I'll never know, nor does it matter, for the world that once was, is no more. Oh, but goodness me, I better rejoin the others.
That was definitely rather dark, but it also kind of explains. It explains why Barbricia was a little bit tweaked, a little tilted, little eyebrow raise, little. That's for sure. All right, heading down to the airship landing. You can totally RP so hard in this game that you can actually travel between all the different realms by zeros here, by hard traveling on airships the whole way. That's cool. The way the sky changes color with the passage of time is probably a mundane thing to you, but to me it's a marvel. I dare say I wouldn't soon grow bored in this world. It's kind of an overcast, shitty day right now, Zero, which is a little more on brand, apparently, so far for your exterior. Man, I love me an overcast day. Kind of chilly, light breeze, overcast. I don't know, something about it. Not super bright and also not dark and stormy, just that overcast feel. Something about it. Yeah, quote unquote, she was very spirited. That's one way to put it, yeah.
Ah, what a refreshing breeze. And to return to the others, bah, they should come here. Would you look at this beautiful, boundless sky? Mortals take to the air here, do they not? But that I had wings to soar among the clouds myself. The Wheat Voidsent are not wont to roam, you see. The mightiest among us carve out domains, while the rest labor to stay in their good graces. Now, the master of a domain seldom ventures outside, for it is in one's territory that one is strongest. For some, however, such confinement proved trying, as was the case for certain Voidsent that I knew. I speak of the free-spirited terror, Vrtra. When she first established her domain, she whiled away the days waiting for her minions to bring her prey. The aether amassed from these offerings was devoted to a singular pleasure of caring for her silky, flowing locks. But the resources of her domain were not without their limits. It was only when none remained to oppose her that she realized she was a prisoner in her own domain. And unless she broke free, she would inevitably wither away, alone. Not knowing what to do, she had fallen into the depths of despair when the hand of salvation came to pull her out.
At this rate, my precious hair will frazzle and fray. I don't have the strength to leave my domain. If strength is your desire, that is easily granted. Who are you? Ugh. My innards. Such power surging through me. She has quite the fingernails there. What do you do with it? What is your desire? Apparently to make an island made of hair. Golbez, you cool with that? An island made of hair? What I desire. What I desire. Whoa. Yeah, to make an island made of hair. Pretty much. Yeah. You would move your very domain. Impressive. That I can do such a thing. What have you done to me? I granted you ether, nothing more. It was your will that made it possible. My will? Even so, no matter where you should go, there is naught but darkness. What could your destination possibly be? Destination? I have no need for such. I wish but to be free like the wind.
In a world that was at its end, rare indeed is the soul who desires freedom so ardently that she could will her very domain to move. Recognizing this quality, the knight would grant her more power and a place of command in his mighty army. A story worthy of a bargain, I trust. I might had more to tell had I not fallen off her domain. Whoops. It seems you mortals also have a fondness for flying. I'd certainly like to try riding one of those airships of yours. But perhaps another time. My other selves will be a blubbering mess if I don't hurry and rejoin them.
You have found the last of the Voidsent. Time to head back to the Hall of the Radiant Host. That was cool. So we learned more about Carmiglione and Barbacoa, which I mean, I assume we're going to learn about the next two in the next patch later this December. Maybe Golbez is the main thing for the final one. This is patch 0.2, then we have a 0.3, a 0.4, and then a 0.5. I imagine the 0.5 would be the bridge, though. It has to be the main bridge to the final, you know, the whole final expansion going into the next chunk. So that's obviously like a year out, but quite a ways away.
Thank you so much for finding me. I hope the knowledge I had to share was worthy of our agreement.
So more than worthy, I'd say. They told me of Scarmiglione and Babricia. How did you come to know the Archfiends? I mean, just thank them. That's fine. It's all good. All good.
My other selves lived quite desperate lives. Sorry, disparate lives, but both as mortals and void sent, though I suppose it is rather fortuitous that they cross paths with such powerful void sent. But more importantly, what they would offer was worthy of our bargain. For that, I am glad. All that remains now is for us to rejoin and become whole again. Huh? Is this not all of me? No. There can be no other explanation. There is still more of me lost out there somewhere, but I don't sense them. Where could they have gone?
You mean there's more of them wandering about? By the sisters. At the very least, if what you say is true, they pose no threat to the people. Until the others can be found, we will keep these 5 under our care.
Should I sense the others nearby in roughly 4 months? I hope we can count on you to find them too.
So they're going to be used as another storytelling device to explain some backstory on the other ones in the future. Very cool. Big to be continued. Hope you enjoyed my terrible, weird, silly, blob, echoey, pitchy voice acting. Kind of feel like that was pretty good. I had fun doing it. When I can hear what my voice changer, I was adjusting it between each character to make them a little different. But if I adjust things against or with the pitch shifting, it also adds more. So I don't know. It sounds kind of fun in my ears. I don't know if it sounds weird on yours, but I had fun doing that, and I hope you did too. Yeah. Yeah, the store all done. Just finished the side quest too, the Shadowed Pasts side quest as well, which is definitely tied to it, but definitely not a direct MSQ. But yeah, so I did everything. We're all done. We're all good. That was great. That was great. That was really good. Yeah, that was good. Very good. And you know, roughly right on time too. We have a little bit more time in the stream chunk today. So what we could do, I don't know if farming would be a little bit boring on stream today. Could run expert roulette real quick. Could do one of those. Because expert roulette now is just, oh, I gotta go spend astronomy. What am I spending astronomy on, Destora? What's the, what are the materials I need to buy with astronomy that are needed? Or should I do roulettes in a few minutes? Well, if there's a spot, then I'll wait and do it off stream then. You can jam off stream. That's fine. It'd be over here at this vendor, I believe. Everything except the Palika herb. So astronomy other. So all the 10s are last tier. So it's all the 20s. So we don't use the Palika mistletoe, but it's the varnish, the skin, the cloth, the vanadinite, daniite, and the Thavnarian almandine. These ones. Well, the mistletoe is potions, and these 5 are for crafted gear. Okay. Well, I can't buy a ton. Do you have the list pulled up? You can tell me real quick which ones I should be buying for the cloth gear, or at least for the healer gear. Does your spreadsheet have all of the different ones, or just? Okay, that one's just striking. You don't? I can't see them in my... Because I don't have the new books, so if I like go like Weaver, for example, because my gear is only the first set and it's not pentamilded or anything, I don't think I have the option to see. Yeah, because this is the classical 580. It's the new book at Master Recipe 10, which I can't see. Yeah, so I don't have the new book or anything. I mean, I'm gonna get tons more astronomy, but yeah, could do 20 of each. That's true. Because we're making a lot of sets, so I might as well put my astronomy to work here. I mean, it's the farmable currency, so I'll get plenty more. Well, there's only 5. There was only 5 of them. Well, I guess there's 6. The 6th is for, which I imagine maybe the babe. But no, this is made in cloth. Maybe one of these is probably for potions then too. Then could be it. But yeah, because we're about to get a whole bunch more astronomy if we go do roulettes, then I might as well clear them out. That's for sure. Do we need company actions? Because we should have the. I mean, we could use some more actions. Go pick those up real quick. Should really have the durability and do durability and the spirit bonding, because so many of us are gathering and crafting right now that the spirit bonding bonus and the durability probably helps the most. I don't think many people are actually getting use out of the heat of battle a lot lately. Okay, one more. Or having up meat and mead to give an extra 20 minutes to your food while you're out gathering is also pretty good. So let's get... Oh, I went right past it. Is anyone even leveling right now that needs the XP? It's only XP through battle. I feel like we don't need this right now. And this is pretty strong. There you go. Because I know I'm going to be farming more tonight. And as far as I know, all the spirit bonding stuff stacks. I may have to check the wiki to see. I wonder if that which binds us is the same exact thing as the Squadron Spirit Bonding Manual. But I can pop it and it still works. And I can pop the potion. So I wonder if it's... It should all stack together. I don't actually know. We do have to open these 69 materiel containers at some point. But I can make that a another little stream we do in the future. We need to repair anything. I could do a quick round of stuff. Where are my timers at? Go show what gathering in this game is really silly. How both simple and kind of cathartic it is. I think anyway. It's really really easy, but also because you get what you go after. Like, it's just not weird. Not a lot of randomness to it. Just go out and farm. It's a bit of a grind, though, for sure. If you wanted to play this game with, like, one combat job and then only do the crafting and gathering, it's botany right now. If you only ever wanted to do the crafting and gathering in this game, there's so much to do. There's full-on quest lines for just crafting and gathering. Well, we're a little late to this node. This node spawned an hour ago in game time. Sometimes you're out here and there's just dozens of people. That are, which they very well could be. No. To make sure we get that spirit bond out, we get that free materia. The next one that's up at 6 o'clock Eorzea time is out in Garlemald, it would seem. There's a really helpful resource app website thing. You can track different nodes. A lot of farming nodes in this game for... Oh, apparently I didn't get this lookout point. You get... can I do this as low level? A little 80, whatever. Didn't have that vista. So it's mining out here. A lot of the nodes in this game are on timers. They spawn and are only available for a certain amount of time on in-game time clock. A full cycle... What's a full cycle of the game take? Like 40 minutes or so? In 40 minutes, an entire day passes in the game time. But roughly every hour to 2 hours on different... Yeah, see, people are already gathered from this node popping up here in a little bit. I have Eorzea time up here in the top right corner. This is ET, whereas LT is local time. Like, it's 6:30 for me, but it's 5:47 on Eorzea time. Isn't this node on this side? Yeah. Oh, yep, okay. See how many people are here ready. It's gonna get a little loud here in a moment. I actually have to wait for a bit more of my GP to recover, which is fine. Like gathering points, my energy for abilities, because you need technically 900 energy to do the whole combo right now. Best thing too is that gathering and crafting all have rotations. Like, they have buttons and skills and abilities you activate, just like a battle job, like a tank or a healer. Oh, it's way over here this time. I thought it was against this rock. Does this one move sometimes? Maybe it moves a little bit. This is so stupid. Get the dinks on. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we're good. We can join in. Let's get in there. Yeah. So silly. It's also so awesome. Ah, no Eureka moment. Damn, rip. Got a chain 7 on this node though. Good. I think chain 8 is as high as you can go. Look at them all. Yeah, get it. Yeah. Yep. We already materia'd a spirit bonded our weapons again. What's our durability like? We're still fine. We're still good. It's still going. You can only get one gather. That's why you want to get as much out of each node as possible. They're still going. There's the store. You get in there. Stupid chicken head. Are you waiting for your GP? You might be. Oh, he has some materia to pull out. Get in there, yeah. Yeah, bonk it. Yeah. How did you meld your stuff? I mean, it's probably the same thing I did, right? Yeah, same thing. Yep, we use the same guide to min-max our gathering gear. Yep. What the hell is that Mog? Get it. There you go. I'm gonna go hit a few regular nodes real quick here just to get my gathering points back. The next one is mining at 8, so in an hour in-game time on the moon. Do a couple more of these and then we'll call it for today. But you could get your Netflix, get your Hulu on the other monitor. Just watch your timers and then roam around and gather. Now, normal nodes are up all the time. They're perpetual. There are little spots that you can track, which I'm hitting right now, lay of the land, to try to find the nodes. And these are not anywhere near as important. These are just normal nodes. But obviously, gathering in this game has multiple tiers. So you need to gather like low-end materials, then you gather medium, and then you gather high, and then you gather extremely rare materials, and you have to keep kind of going next step, next step, next step. And you learn your abilities through the quests and stuff. Making the gear is all fully crafted. So I don't know what the best way to actually go about doing that is. I think you get the base crafting and gathering gear, and then you gather through the multiple different gatherers the materials to make the next crafting set. And the crafting set allows you to make the better gathering set, and then you kind of bounce back and forth. I just made a lot of gil in this game by selling a lot of trial stuff off over the last year or so. So I bought most of all these pieces and then bought a bunch of materia to meld them. So, because I mean, I've already made more than like another 1 million gil plus on my retainers over the past week or so. Just selling things that I get that I don't need and I'm not going to use. So then that turns into then me just, you know, buying the materials that I am not going to make myself, essentially. Let's go to the moon real quick. You've only made about 15 million so far since the patch dropped? I mean, I spent like 13 to 14 million on getting my set ready for the patch, so I'll take a 15 million return. Now, you're selling stuff that you no longer really need, or are you selling just part of your stock of stuff that you've crafted up? I know you made like 900 million solutions, right? Ambrosial water is still super important. I probably should go farm more of that. Yeah, things you guys ready for the patch. Gotcha. This is not the node that I want. This is a different node. I think the node that I want is the one that spawns up over here. Oh, the solutions tanked since they aren't used for the new... Look at how... Oh my god! There's so many people waiting on this node. What the heck? Yeah, you were hoping that the solutions would be still used in the newish stuff. Yeah. That's unfortunate. So I guess you probably should have sold them beforehand. But now I guess we know patch cycle wise it's going to... All right, let's get in there. It broke the pattern. Oh, this is not how it usually goes? They changed it, or they added stuff where they normally don't? So many ding 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 dinks. So many damn dinks. And from what you've seen, yeah. Yeah, I thought that the consumables used at the start of the expansion were for the first 2 tiers. So you have your consumables, and they last for the first 2 raid tiers. And then when the last raid tier and the last trial tier are out, separated by 1 patch, like the 0.4, then it upgrades and you go to a new tier of food, potions, etc. So maybe now they're going to be doing that twice with each raid tier. Each raid tier might be doing that. So that you have to bump up twice each expansion. You have to get your baseline at the start and then you go up at 0.2 and then again at 0.4. At least what they're doing now. Maybe they see like such a huge population jump. They need to infuse this grind again into the crafting and gathering cycle, just because it's a big part of that play cycle. Because there are some people that'll play this game and do the main story and do nothing else. Like, unless they have to, they will play this game and just do crafting and gathering. That's all they'll do. There's such a, which is kind of what World of Warcraft is trying to bring in Dragonflight, it would seem. But I think that might be going a little too far. In this game, there's just materials, and then you can create normal quality or high quality. But in World of Warcraft, there's like 5 tiers of quality or something. It might be too much randomness. Too many tiers of the materials and things. It might be a little frustrating to use. Whereas in Final Fantasy, actually, with this expansion, they removed the randomness of high quality crafting ingredients that you farm. Because not only do you have a 50-50 on the ingredients, everyone really only cared about the high quality ingredients, as you might imagine, because we're all gamers. And then that means that the normal ingredients were basically not used. They were garbage. No one ever wanted to use them. You can still take the raw ingredients and with the proper material or the proper gear, you can make high quality crafted components that then help you craft high quality end products. But yeah, I wonder if the World of Warcraft stuff is going a little bit too far in what they've currently showed. All right, one more. Let's go to Euphoria in Labyrinthos. Oh, is there an S rank going on? Or is there a train? Oh, a hunt train going on. Yeah, doing a hunt train doing multiple hunt trains now would actually probably be really lucrative because you're going to get the new currency. Hunt trains always spike up in prominence on new patches because the materials they afford you are more in need. This will be the next node that's up here in 20 in-game minutes. How many people are here waiting for it? I would say many. But yeah, just have Netflix on, have a stream on, have YouTube videos going, watch the But I'm Bad series on VOD form here on YouTube for my stuff, and then just go to town. Go to town gathering. Because I'm not going to be crafting anything. I'm just trying to gather a lot of the new raw materials to be able to hand those over to the free company, to our guild, to be able to facilitate creating our new gear sets for people. So Nath logged in and then was online for like 10 minutes and logged out. What's that boy up to? I don't know. This one spawns right over here. We're just gonna jump right in there and not get bombarded with as many dinks as was happening. I mean, there'll be dinks. You just wait for it. There's gonna be plenty of dinks. Yep. Bring on the dinks. Yep. Damn, not Eureka moment. F. Yep. So many people. You're over the 3800 perception. Did you remeld? I was looking at your gear earlier. Did you actually remeld for less gathering? Because I'm only above 3600 with food. Is there a new meld list? I only had to remeld a little. Well, you need to remeld over like 100 perception across your gear. And I guess you could probably meld off everything that's gathering on the offhand, off the sledgehammer. And the scythe, maybe? What's the gathering breakpoint, though? Do you need to only be at like 3,800 gathering or 3,850? Oh, you posted it? Okay, I'll check that out later. Because I don't really want to spend a whole bunch more gil. And you're only going to get a little bit more of the boon chance at 3,800 perception. So, I mean, I'm not hurting. I mean, I've already got almost 100 plus of every material right now. So it's not too bad. Not too bad. We're going to head back to the house, though, and that's my apartment that I've never used. I probably should stop. I don't have to pay for it, but I probably should close my apartment. I don't even design my room in my house. In the house, rather. I'll take Chad on a quick tour of the downstairs, which is of our new medium estate. Destora put some work into the ground floor and the upper floor, but we mostly just need some room building, which will happen soon. But downstairs, Div put a ton of work in down here, which he said he wants to like redo the whole thing. But we have this big cafe, kind of like bistro going on here / pub, and then our big screen TV. And our lounge area and our fat cat couch and our little library corner if you want to come down here when it's quiet time. And then you got a little VIP section up here. Up here and watch the movie, and then, yeah. A lot of work down here. But he's talking about how he wants to redo the whole damn thing. Got a little wine cellar over here. Doesn't have anything really in it. But you can do a lot of stuff. Our house is pretty all right. There are some houses in this game that are, like, from other games. They're so well put together. Just absolutely wild how much you can do in this game's housing. But yeah, I think we're good here. The new food is also 124 perception. Yeah. That's what I'm using to give me plus 124 right here. Yeah, the tiganita, the tijanita, whatever the hell, the calamari. Thick slices of squid coated in spicy rye flour, then fried in, is it perilla oil? Yeah, perilla oil until crispy. So deep fried squid rings. Yeah. So you have to be at, 17 or whatever the stat was. You have to be base without food. 120 away. So you got to be at 3680 to make sure you break over with the 4. Yeah, so that's quite a bit of a remeld for me. This is the BIS melding set that was right before the patch, so yeah, it was way higher on gathering, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. That's right there. We'll figure out later. I'm not having a problem gathering as I already am. I'm getting a little less yield, but it's okay. Okay. Let's swap this over here. Yeah, let's read some more strange science, shall we? I just passed through a page called "It's Sexy Time." Okay. Let's say today is the 24th. Okay. I know if Nico was here, he'd want me to do page 69, but we'll do that later. So this entry is called "The Science Behind Kids Products." So the first kids product is Silly String, which is the weird string in a bottle that shoots out, but it's not really the string, in quotes, that makes Silly String work. It's the ingredient that gets it out of the can that makes it all happen. The strands are created from an acrylic resin, plastic, and a surface-acting agent, foam. But it's the propellant that's crucial to the process. Not only does it push the string out of the can when sprayed, it also causes the reaction between the resin and the surface-acting agent to form the sticky strands. Yeah, don't spray Silly String on like houses or cars because it will stain the house or the car. I know from experience back in high school because I had really stupid friends. So Elmer's Glue All is the other kids product. Although many glues were traditionally manufactured from the collagen in animal hooves, horns, and bones, Elmer's never has been. The first glue factory that Gail Borden bought in 1929 used a milk byproduct to make its glue, and Borden Inc. expanded into resin-based glues in the 1930s. Elmer's Glue All was introduced in 1947 and was made from a synthetic resin, which is still in their product today. So kids can play happily in the knowledge that no horses were harmed in the making of their Elmer's glue. There you go. A bit of strange science for you. Thank you for being here, hanging out, tuning in. Don't forget the like button on YouTube. It does help out the channel and the algorithm and how it all works around. Tomorrow we will start the Dark Souls But I Am Bad saga. It'll be a bit of a tease because there's no stream Friday or Saturday. Thus, we will pick up a stream on Sunday, which will be a little weird for my schedule. And of course, I'll keep up to date on that one when it comes around. But tomorrow we're going to start the game. We'll do character creation, make some hideous Bagar thing for Dark Souls 1 and get that underway tomorrow. And then we got a big Destiny 2 day on Friday, day off Saturday, and then back at But I'm Bad next Sunday. So that's that. Y'all have a great night, have a great morning, whatever comes first. I forgot earlier to give you your moment of Pikachu. He's just kind of sitting here. He's under the light now. He moved with his nerdy stuff. I didn't even see him. He moved and now he's very much right underneath one of my key lights. Are you okay? He's got his headset on, listening to the stream. He's got his phone in his pocket. So he's all good. Bye, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow.